it's Twiggie here in the Shire on my way home today. Driving and on our local radio station, Nibiru has been spoken about. The chap who's speaking though, I think he's talking out of his arse a bit. He's like confused it with astrology of all things. But hey ho. This is what you get with local radio.
And there's a planet Nibiru and it's going to collide with the Earth.
Is this Naboo?
And no, that was at Star Wars, wasn't it?
Naboo, was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Or was it? It might have been. Yeah.
I always get those two films confused as well.
Yeah, that's totally.
Jabba the Hutt was in Bedknobs and Broomsticks, wasn't he?
Yes,
Right,
playing sport with the lion.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So where's this hoax come from then?
This could be controversial, but you know, there's a lot of people out there who believe in things like astrology, which is the
I know, but it gets very confusing when you've just spoken about cancer and going in and the crab cluster or whatever you call it. Because the words are the same sometimes, it can get quite confusing to those who...
It does to some people. They get the two confused, but basically one's science and one's pseudoscience, which means kind of has no basis of science whatsoever. So Nibiru, it comes from the kind of astrology side of it, and they reckon that this planet called Nibiru, which is out there and we can't see it apparently, although we can see to nearly back in time to the beginning of the universe, we can't see Nibiru, which is on our doorstep, is heading for us and going to collide. And it's
when? Just so I know.
Well, they keep changing their mind because it keeps going to collide with us next year, and it never does. So,
right.
You know, I've lived through so many ends of the world.
Tomorrow never comes.
It never does.
Yeah. How do you know it's not real though?
I know it's not real.
You know.
Yes.
You've checked.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
I can't see it. It's not there. So if somebody has no astronomical equipment, no scientific basis, says that there's a planet there, well,
if you can't see it with your telescope, then
Well, if the Hubble can't see it, it ain't there, is it?
So what's the other hoax?
The other hoax is that in November we're going to have 15 days of darkness because Jupiter and Mars are going to be so close to us they're going to blank out the sun.
Oh, that sounds dramatic.
And again, people email me and they say, Pete, is this going to happen? And when I say no, well, you would say that. You're paid by NASA to say that. Well,
okay.
If I was being paid by NASA, I'd be a rich man.
And also, wouldn't people want to tell us if we were going to be plunged into darkness?
I think it would be the case, and I just don't think Jupiter or Mars are ever going to appear
They'd want to warn us, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Now, we've had some questions in from listeners as well. Paul in Oswestry says, what is the James Webb Telescope? The
James Webb Telescope is going to be the replacement for the Hubble Telescope. It's going to be a lot more powerful, so we're going to see a lot more with it. It launches in October 2018, and believe it or not, one of the engineers that worked on this project is actually a Shropshire-based person. I probably will get him to maybe phone in and have a chat about it. But
how exciting!
He's a member of the Shropshire Astronomical Society. He's now retired, but he worked on the James Webb Telescope as an engineer for a long time.
Amazing.
And this telescope's going to be 1.5 million kilometres out from the Earth. So if something goes wrong with this one, you can't send somebody to fix it like they sent the Hubble. So it's a one-shot, get it right, first time.
No pressure.
What a responsibility.
But not only that, the mirrors in it, the mirror is folded. And it unfolds into segments. Now, can you imagine if one of those segments doesn't unfold?
Error 359.
I wouldn't want to be the person that packed it.
How do I reboot it from here?
Yeah.
Come on, Control-Alt-Delete.
So the James Webb Telescope is going to be a leap forward in astronomical science. So it's well worth keeping your eye on that. And it launches, as I say, in October 2018. That's the planned launch date. Things could change, but.
Candy St Alfred said, what is the M or Messier object?
Messier object. You've heard of things like the Orion Nebula?
Yep.
The Crab Nebula?
Yes.
And so on. They were all labelled by a guy called Charles Messier back in the 1700s, and he put an M in front of them, so like the Crab Nebula is M1, the Orion Nebula is M42, the Pleiades is M45.
Sound like motorways?
Pardon?
They sound like motorways.
Well, you're not the first person to say that, I have to say.
I'm sure I'm not.
I have to say. And, so basically he named these, he put M in front of them, and he labelled them because he was a comet hunter, and he wanted to dismissed these as not being comets, so he just labelled them M1, M2, and so he didn't have to look at them again because he knew that they weren't comets. Now to this day they're known as Messier objects, and we have Messier marathons where you can go and look at all the Messier objects in one night if you can. So yeah, that's where it came from.
Okay, what's going on in September then with regards to what's happening in Shropshire?
Well, there's only one thing happening in Shropshire that I know of at the moment, and that's on the Saturday the 23rd of August at Roddington. September. Did I say August?
You did. We were going back in time, and that's a different
We've done that before.
How can we do
We've
that?
confused ourselves with that one. Yeah, I have written August here.
Yeah.
On the paper. Good God. At Roddington there's a talk on robotic telescopes and using telescopes robotically around the world, and it's me that's doing the talk.
Brilliant. Saturday the 23rd of September for your diary.
Someone who knows what they're talking about. Look at that. Pete, good to see you.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Eye on the sky for September about what you need to look up for.
Bit of Dolly now.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition and